In episode 1 of our completed dish series, I teach you how to make our pan-roasted halibut dish, which is a top-selling entree and our most requested recipe by our guests. We're going to start by getting some cherry tomatoes, sliced lengthwise in half, some finely julienne red onions that have been lightly pickled, and I'll have a link to that in the show notes, some fresh chopped cilantro, a little bit of white bread, and this is our homemade white bread recipe. It's not that Wonder Bread stuff, and this gives us the ability to make a better product and then also cube it up. Here we have some fish sauce, and this is actually a little trick I learned from my wife who's Filipino. Fish sauce and tomatoes go extremely well together. Also, you're going to need up some basic stuff for your sauce. It's sliced shallots, some capers, lemon, and butter. Also, here we have a piece of halibut that has been brined in a 5% brine solution for about 2 to 3 hours, and then we'll take it out, rinse it, and pat it dry. Now, the first step you want to do is you want to make your tomato salad or your marinated tomatoes, and you're going to add your tomatoes, your pickled red onions, with just a tiny bit of the pickling liquid for a little bit of an acidic bite. You're going to add in a couple dashes of fish sauce, and obviously I'm not using measurements because this is all going to be done to taste. You want to balance the flavors. Balance with some salt, a little bit of sugar, and then cilantro. Now you're going to mix this around, and you should be able to taste the savoriness of the fish sauce, the sourness of the pickled onions, and also the sweetness of the tomatoes and the freshness of the cilantro. They should all be nice and bright. Now you can make this up to 24 hours in advance, and it does get better as it sits, so I would recommend at least making it 2 hours in advance. Now to start, you're going to pan roast your halibut, and we have a more detailed video on the actual pan roasting process. That's a little too in-depth to go into here, so go to stellaculinary.com/cooking techniques. And while the halibut is pan roasting, you're going to get 2 more pans going on your stovetop. One's going to be for your Beurre Blanc sauce, the other's going to be for your Panzanella salad. So you're going to start on the right-hand side. You're going to add to that pan some clarified butter and also some whole butter. And the clarified butter will actually raise the browning temperature of the whole butter. And to this, you're going to add the cubed white bread. Now, if you don't want to make your own white bread, you can go and buy brioche or something similar and dice it up. You can get that from your local bakery. If you do want to tackle your own white bread, it's really not that difficult. And I'm going to put a link in the episode 1 show notes. So you can go to stellaculinary.com/TCD1, and there'll be a link to our white bread recipe. In the other pan, I'm going to just get some shallots roasting. This is going to be the start of our Beurre Blanc. And now you can see that our croutons are nice and golden brown. So we're just going to set that off to the side. And we're going to deglaze our shallots with a little bit of white wine. Reduce it down and add the juice of half a lemon. Now, around this time, you're going to want to check your halibut and make sure it's done. It should be nice and supple, and when you squeeze the side, it should spring back at you. Look at that beautiful crust. And you're going to finish your Beurre Blanc sauce while your halibut is resting. And you're just going to swirl in some butter, emulsifying it in, and add in some capers. And we have a video on this more in depth in our sauces and soup series. Set the Beurre Blanc aside and bring your croutons back up to temperature over a high flame. And you're going to add them directly into your tomato salad. And you're going to get this nice contrast of temperatures with the hot croutons and the chilled tomatoes. And it's going to play really, really nice with the completed dish. You're going to plate this directly on a round bowl. This is a 12-inch bowl with a raised rim. You're going to make sure you have a nice flat platform that you can lay your delicate piece of roasted halibut on top. And once you have your roasted halibut on top, you're going to sauce with the lemon cape Beurre Blanc that we made earlier. Now, this dish conceptually is extremely simple, but the technique behind it of properly roasting the fish, making a Beurre Blanc a la minute, and just the flavor combinations that we have are really important. So for more information on that, head on over to stellaculinary.com/TCD1 for the episode 1 show notes.